Give Smart, the video series where we break down the legal side of giving. I'm Isabella, and in each episode, we talk to experts who help companies and nonprofits navigate the complex but important world of compliance and charitable fundraising. Today's episode is all about gaming for good, how global creator-led campaigns can turn player communities into real support for really amazing causes. I'm joined today by DJ Johnson, CEO of XTREAM Events. Through XTREAM Solutions, which is a partnership with Solutions with Impact, his team runs large global give-back campaigns that mobilize gaming communities for charity. DJ, thanks for being here.
Yeah, honored to be here. This is fun.
Thank you. So for folks new to XTREAM Solutions, can you give us just a quick origin story? Why gaming and how did this come about?
Yeah, interestingly enough, so my background is professional sports. I was in marketing and management for over 20 years in Major League Baseball and the NBA. And then I kind of moved over into the nonprofit world, and I worked with Garth Brooks and ran his nonprofit for almost 13 years. And in the midst of all of that, I served on a number of boards, one of which was a game charity company. And one of the things that we noticed that was going on in market was that nonprofits were starting to work very closely with game companies. And the numbers that were being generated were staggering. I mean, one of the things that caught our eye was that Overwatch, which is one of the largest AAA games in the world, did a program for breast cancer awareness. And in 2 weeks, they raised about $12.7 million. And it just set us back, and it made us realize there's an opportunity here, if done right, to speak to a lot of people and actually raise a lot of money through leveraging gaming. And the interesting thing about gaming and the gaming industry is it has the ability to communicate with people worldwide, people of all ages. So many people game, whether it be on handhelds, whether it be on PC, whether it be on platforms. The numbers literally in the billions, how many people actually game. And we said, you know what, if we're going to be in this space, we need to learn it and we need to get involved. So we believe that in addition to that, what they bring is this whole creator streamer world where they're talking to additionally thousands, if not millions of people. And we just thought, what a great opportunity to amplify and speak to people all across the globe at a very economical and efficient way to tell our story and to get our word out and to turn that into fundraising. So essentially that's what we recognize. That's the background, how we decided to get into it. And it's really a fascinating space that really is a global marketplace.
It's really cool. That's awesome. So you run these big creator-led fundraisers. For example, you had one called Thanks for Gaming earlier this year, and now you have one called Treasures for Hope, which is in the Sea of Thieves game. What does this great campaign blueprint look like? So from finding the right partners to figuring out what the in-game incentive should be, or just like the promo plan to kind of mobilize the donors. What does that whole campaign blueprint look like?
Great question. I mean, it's the basics, fundamentals of our business. And really the best campaigns for us always start with the game company. That's the way we've done that. While they're creator-led on the phase 2 of a campaign, phase 1 is really making sure that we align with a great game company, somebody that has a great global footprint. They're interested in making a difference. They're willing to do the things that are necessary to truly create a value proposition for their consumer, their player, that they're allowed to donate. And in exchange for those in-game assets that they would create, we're able to turn those into donations. And it really, that's how it all starts. So the blueprint goes from finding the game company, then to working with their communications elements that they can bring, the assets that they have. And the big thing, as I mentioned earlier, is do they have a streamer community that's active, and can they be invited in to engage? And then what we do is we take that base of creator streamer community, and then we go out and bring other streamer communities into the fold, and that's how we create the amplification, and that's how we can really ensure that we have a great game plan, if you will. I think that's what you were asking, and I think that it really leads to success. But the game company is really the core and the crux of where it all begins.
That makes sense. I was reading about your most recent announcement with the Sea of Thieves game, and I noticed that there were a couple of, I don't know what the right word is, but I guess incentives, like things in the game that when you donate, you're able to get. Can you talk just a bit more about the collaborative process that
Sure.
you have to go through with the gaming company?
Yeah, so what the game companies do, and in this case, what you're referring to was Sea of Thieves. And by the way, their developer is Rare, and Rare is owned by Microsoft, just to kind of put all of this in context. So, big operation. And what they do is there's most of these game companies, they are able to exist. Their financial model is they have in-game purchase opportunities. So whether it be currency, whether it be cosmetics, whether it be actual things that make you perform better in the game, they make those available for sale. So with charity, what they've been able to do is just take and create some specialized items that then they make available to the community. And then what we do is we take and we bundle those together. So that's what you see with Sea of Thieves, is they've made, there's probably 12, 15 different items, and we've created what's called in-game treasure packs. And then they're $4.99 through $39.99, and they can purchase those items, and then the game company then uses the revenue. We're allowed to, they give us game codes for those, and then we are able to monetize those through donations, and then that's what we're able to work directly through our Change Foundation, and then run the money through that directly to the charity.
Okay, that's awesome. That's kind of nice to understand. I think it's smart because it's like a mechanism, like this in-game purchase is something that gamers are already accustomed to, because there's so many different things you can purchase, so that it's like, it seems like there's less friction almost, because it's not like a new method of.
Yeah, you're not creating new behaviors, to your point. It's very comfortable for the community. They know how to do it, and they're looking for these value opportunities, and we're able to create that in exchange for a donation.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. So we've talked a bit about your work with the game companies. You also have to work with a lot of creators on the other side. How do you recruit or brief and support any streamers that might participate in your campaigns so that they can focus on the gameplay while the fundraising kind of just runs in the background?
Yeah, well, as I said when you asked me the very first question, is one of the things that we look for are game companies that have an active streamer community. And really that is one of the big things, one of the primary ways that we recruit. So we work in cooperation with the game company, and then they literally turn this over to us, and we work with their streamer community to make them the offer of, here's what we're doing, here's how we're making a difference in the world by creating this charity event, and here's your opportunity to engage, get your community engaged, and to give back. And creators, we find, for the most part, are all looking for these opportunities to allow their communities to get involved with something that has impact, not just the traditional commerce exchange type of offers that are out there, but something that really matters. And so what we do is we found that when we get the community involved, at the end of the day, creators account for close to 30 to 40% of all the total funds we raise come through the creators. Next to the game company themselves, just promoting to the regular player, I shouldn't even say to use the word regular, but to their player community, the creators actually help you reach communities that may not even be playing the game, and they can talk to their community. And what we find is that when a creator endorses something, communities follow. I mean, that's why consumer goods are very popular now, of in engaging creators and paying them to endorse their product, because they know that if the creator endorses it, the community will follow. And what a great advertising model that is, but it pertains directly to us as well. So that's what we do, and it works. And that's how we engage the majority of our creators, is actually through the game community that we're working with.
Yeah, I have certainly fallen victim to listening to a creator online and trusting
we all have.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Sure.
But I think it's really nice to be able to harness that to do something good, which is what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Switching gears a little bit to the more compliance side of things. So XTREAM Solutions operates as a commercial co-venture, which is a specific specification. I think our audience, more or less by this point, knows what that is. But in plain English, from your point of view, what does doing it right require of you? And how does working with Change and our Change Foundation make it easier for XTREAM Solutions?
Yeah, great question. I would say that this new legal protocol that we've put together with our legal team, and then with your team there at Our Change, has really become a foundation of who we are, and actually how we promote ourselves. I think that when we speak with potential clients, the question always comes back to compliance. It's easy to get marketing people excited about a campaign, and a lot of the communication people excited about a campaign, but at the end of the day, the litmus test is legal. I mean, what are you doing to make sure that you are protecting our brand in the marketplace? And that's where you guys come in, and you play such a critical role. So we lean heavily on you in the ability to streamline this CCV agreement with you, which then becomes the overarching agreement, if you will, that provides the protections through licensing agreements with our other partners. So it really is a genius way to be able to go in market and do these type of charity activations, but with the CCV, which is critical. It's fundamental. You can't do it without that. And you guys handle all of the state registrations, all the filings, all the things that I don't want to think about. You do. But it's the things that the best example right now, Isabella, is Microsoft. The deal we just got done with them. They look at things very closely, and they did their due diligence, and we had to make sure that we were compliant in all areas. So literally, between our actual credit card processing piece through Stripe, and then the commercial co-venture piece with you guys, our state registration piece that we do anyway as a fundraising group, all were part of what I call, it's kind of the undergirding of our business. We can't do business without this kind of structure. And that's what you guys do, and it makes it so streamlined and so easy. So that, I guess, is how I'd answer that question.
That's incredible. I'm glad that we're able to support you in your campaigns. I mean, that's why we're a business at all, so that you can run amazing, really cool campaigns.
Thank you.
When it comes down to like the specific safeguards, let's say, or operational controls, when you have a game partner like Microsoft, for example, approach you and like you're in conversation, what are the things that they care about? Like you kind of mentioned a little bit, the payment flows with Stripe. What about like fraud checks or donor transparency, prize fulfillment even? I'm just wondering what other sorts of safeguards you think are important for your business.
I think that the other safeguards are just that Kapelovitz, Lamb and Rainey, who you guys work very closely with as well, is our law firm. And we just make sure that we have all of the I's dotted and T's crossed from a terms of and conditions piece on our website, clearly outlining what's going on. But I think that what we do is we reverse engineer this whole process, because at the end of the day, our two clients are the game company, or like Microsoft in this case, and Sea of Thieves and Rare. And then it's the actual consumer, the donor, the person that's engaged in the process. And can all of those people in that line feel good that this is legit, it's safe, it's efficient, it's simple? And that's where we have to reverse engineer and make sure, did we check all of those boxes to make sure that at the end of the day, everybody's protected, including me. I mean, at the end of the day, I have to be able to put my head on the pillow, just like the consumer, just like the game company, and so forth. So I think that if we re-engineer and work backwards and say we checked all those boxes, and then our legal people and you guys have been able to handle everything on the back end, we really feel like all of those bases have been covered.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think I was also going to ask, actually, that can be a lot, I think, especially when you're launching. How did you know what to do, I guess, when you have this idea?
Yeah, I mean, great. It's a great question. And I'm a big believer in surrounding myself with people that are a lot smarter than me. And you're on that list.
Me too.
And in our law firm. But, consumer goods products have been doing these type of things for a long time. So Nabisco's and the Nestle's of the world, I mean, they're in market doing charity fundraising with their packaged goods program, that they have. So there's been a lot of trial and error in the marketplace prior to us getting into this. And we believe now with the gaming space, we're a bit of the tip of the spear on this, in that we really are the ones that have figured out the model. And it's in line with what's already going on in the marketplace. So that when you're talking to someone like, again, I'll bring up Microsoft, they have an understanding that, okay, this is checking the boxes that we need to do. But it's been a real learning process, because we want to make sure that the state registrations are in place, and where are the landmines out there, because we want to be compliant. I mean, that's certainly our heart on all of this, and that's what's led us to putting this process together. And you guys have a lot of these, I think, already in place. So this isn't new for you, and you've been able to coach us up and make us better just by virtue of who you are and what you do and what you're an expert at. And so quite frankly, this wasn't anything I figured out. This was the people around me that said, okay, this is how we need to do it, and this is how we can do it in the most efficient and safe manner.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes you, kind of like what you said, surrounding yourself with people who know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, can really make a big difference.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So during a live campaign like this one that you have now with Sea of Thieves, what are the key metrics that you're watching, and how do you eventually close the loop with your charity partners and with your gaming partner once the campaign is over?
Yeah. Listen, I'm a big believer that if it can be measured, it can be improved upon. So I think that what we try to do is, right now, our eyes are on a lot of different variables. And we're able to track that through the technology that we use, through Google Analytics. I mean, just understanding what countries are we seeing activity coming from. I mean, we just pulled a report after 4 days, and we're seeing activity from almost 90 different countries that are engaged in the campaign. I mean, it puts into perspective the global nature of this. And then the other thing, I think, and any marketing person out there is going to know that, I mean, we're keeping track of when we're posting on social media, what are we seeing on the other side? Are we seeing an immediate response to that? If a creator's online and they're doing a stream, Are we seeing a bump in activity because of that? Um, where are we seeing movement in a campaign, and what could be the causes of those movements? Because if it's a positive movement, whatever it is, we want to do more of it. So what it's the thing that we put a lot of time and attention to is really understanding what are those things that we could pay attention to. And then regarding the charity, one of the things that we insist on from a charity as part of a quid pro quo with to be involved is that they provide us with post campaign impact reports. Because if you raise $1 million, well, what a celebration it is to be able to go back to the people that were a part of that campaign and say, thanks to your $1 million, these lives were changed. And here's how we were able to do that in Brazil and the Philippines and Eastern Europe and Africa, you name it. We're able to get specific, and we want to be able to give back to the game companies so that they can report. And quite frankly, it's a win for the charity because it gives them a chance to tell their story to a global community again that was part of something. And this has a ripple effect. We did a series of events with our friends at Bungie. And we were able to grow the number of people participating and then re-engaging every year. And we think in part of that was simply because they were able to report impact. And people goes, you know what, when they do something, it makes a difference, and I want to be a part of that. So that's what we're very keen on, is closing that loop of raise a dollar, but then how is that dollar spent on the back end, and what kind of impact did it make? I think it's really important.
I think that's super important, especially I was reading some report a few weeks ago about especially younger donors like Gen Z, like they are a more I don't want to say like doubtful generation, but they really want to see the impact of what the $1 is that they're giving, more so than other generations even. So I think that's really nice that your charity partners are able to provide some kind of impact report at the end of the campaign, because that's like what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's not just one report. I mean, it takes time to spend money and to do it well. And so it may involve multiple reports that come back from them over a 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month period where they say, here's how we implemented the money, and this was what resulted, and this is what we did next, and this is what we did next. And I think that they're proud to tell that story too. Yeah.
Last question. Looking ahead, what's next for XTREAM Solutions? I know you have this current campaign. Do you have any other exciting collaborations?
Yeah.
Things coming up?
Yeah, we do. The good news is that we're already in the planning stages with Sea of Thieves on their next campaign. So they're already looking at one and possibly multiple events in 2026. I will tell you one thing. I can't spill all the beans on everything, but I will tell you that one of the big opportunities we're seeing is coming up with a lot of the developers on Roblox. Roblox probably being the biggest gaming community on Earth. And I mean, literally 9 figures of players. And it's amazing how engaged they are. And it's people of all ages. It's not just a kids platform. I mean, it's a platform where people of all ages are participating. And those campaigns actually will go through the developer's own in-game commerce system, if you will. Won't even be on our platform. But what we're doing is in collaborating with them, and then after a campaign, then they'll move the money through XTREAM, and then we'll move it through our Change Foundation that will go directly to the beneficiary charity who we've already selected for something that we're doing over the holidays this year. But huge potential, we think, moving forward for working with the Roblox platform.
Wow, that's exciting.
So we're really bullish on where that might take us.
So, well, I can't wait to see what you all do with them. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled.
Well, please do, and tell your friends.
Well, I will. Cool. Well, thanks, DJ, so much for sitting down and talking to us about XTREAM Solutions and your amazing gaming community campaigns. And thank you all for watching. If you work at a nonprofit, if you support nonprofits, or if you run charitable campaigns of any sort at your company, be sure to follow the Give Smart series for more insights on doing good legally. Thanks, DJ, again.
All right, take care. Bye bye.